Hello, my loves, and welcome to this reading. It's good to see you. And if you're new here, I always like to give a little heads up before I jump into my readings. They are pretty unique. They might not be what you're used to from other readers, and they can be quite the deep dive, a journey. And yeah, so if you like the kind of thing, if you like to dig deep, you are in the right place. All right, let's get started. I put out a few of my decks that I had stored away. I've been traveling, so I've been using the same 3 decks for several months now, and it's kind of fun. Like, I got out that box. I'm at my mom's right now, and I got out that box with where my tarot decks are in, and it's like a reunion for me. It's like, oh, hello, there you are. So one thing that, and I was like, okay, what deck do I want to use? And one, when I picked it up, spilled out of its packaging, and one card in particular, and it kind of fit that eruptive spilling out. So one card that flew out of the whole pile was the Knave of Cups. And right now I'm sorry, but I have to check. Is that the page or the knight in this deck? So there. Yeah, no, they're the page. Okay. So this is, I just finished recording another message on my other channel. And it also came through in there, looking at your emotions. There's something about looking at your emotions, and with that spilling out, there's a certain sense of eruptiveness with it. And right now we are in a very fiery time. Like, we are in Leo season. I mean, my messages are timeless, but you could still have like some fire energy when you find this, like, being present. Or maybe just in your own chart, in your own life. But right now, we are in Leo season, and there is a lot of heat in, like, the collective experience. I'm in Central Europe, and it's like we have the second heat wave, like really intense heat wave this year happening. And the temperatures are rising up to, I think today they say like 39 degrees, like almost 40, which is not normal for where I am. And it's the second time this year that this is happening, and it's not, it seems like it's going to continue that way. So there is something about a constant heat that is like being generated or happening outside. And the question is, like, how do you relate to that? How do you react to that? And here, like the Knave of Cups, there is, okay, so what I'm getting with that right now is a certain way, like it's a certain curiosity of looking at your emotions. How do you react to the external circumstances? How do you respond to And I mean that with the heat is just like an example. It's just a metaphor. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention there are also a lot of fires happening. France, Greece, Spain. There are a whole lot of fires happening. People have had to leave their homes, and so it's a collective reaction to those external circumstances. And the question is, how do you react? How do you react to it? And so we just had a full moon in Aquarius, and I've also felt called to put my moon deck out. I just saw 555 on the timer. So 5 is, oh yeah, 5 is the number of growth through friction. Growth is always happening through friction. There is no growth without growing pain. And so in order to find your balance and to move through that with as much grace as possible, it is required to be in touch with your emotions, to look at your emotions and to being able to regulate them and to not let them dictate your life. So with Leo, there can be a certain degree of drama and impulsiveness in that energy. The sun, fire, it can be quite eruptive. So they're showing me a volcano right now, especially if it got suppressed for a really long time. I hear the pressure is building. The pressure is building. And this is happening from the root chakra. There's some kind of pressure that is, yeah, and because I'm drawn to like all kinds of things red, and I'm realizing that also here in this card, there's a whole lot of red, which is the color of the root chakra. Nervous system. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to link a video down in this description, one that I posted the other day on my other channel, about like noise. The noise is picking up and putting pressure on the nervous system. Yeah, so now they're bringing me to the moon energy, and the moon as the moon as the balancing influence on the sun, as a ruler of Cancer that we just moved out of, and that's a water sign. So, and oh yeah, so Cancer is like a very emotional sign, but at the same time it has this outer shell, so it's not that easy to get through to the core, to get through to those emotions. And then we also have this full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is not really like it's a very detached energy in general. So there is this general sense of detachment. And the weird thing is, like, I'm shuffling and shuffling and shuffling, and I don't really feel called to pick a card. I just keep on talking. Yeah, so there's a sense of distraction. There is like, I don't really want to look at that. I don't really want to see what's there. I don't really want to go into that vulnerable space, because there is something, there's a sense of safety that is at stake here. It feels unsafe to go into those emotions, to look what's inside that cup. So now I'm drawn to that cup that she's holding, and she's covering it up. The question is she wrapping it in that? Oh no, that's her. She's wearing that. So she's holding this vase or whatever that is. And she has this cloak or like scarf that is really red. And she's kind of, it almost looks as if she, I know she doesn't, but that was my first impression, that she wrapped that cup in this red scarf. So there's something she's protecting in there. So if you feel like a lot of nervous system reactions lately, and that could be either you're not feeling anything at all because you're more the type of freeze, or you feel very easily triggered and a bit volatile in your reactions. This might be protecting something. Okay. So we got 3 cards. The deck is in German, but of course I'm going to translate. So we have the Hour of the Moon Synchronicity. In the middle we have Moon Circles Support. And Moon Possibilities or Options. Possibilities more. Intuition. So there's something about divine timing with that Hour of the Moon synchronicities and that huge clock in the background. There's something about divine timing. And okay, so this pressure that is being put on us collectively, but also individually, it is that is happening on purpose. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Because there's certain things that you feel like I don't want to look at it. Like it's like I said, like a protection mechanism. And it doesn't really feel safe to look at that. So sometimes we need those high pressure circumstances that just create so much discomfort that we don't have a choice but to look at it. This can show up if we don't listen to it. Okay, so if we don't listen to it, if we keep ignoring it, it can show up as a tower moment in our life. For example, if you have a job and you feel all those emotions like of tiredness, which is usually a sign of repressed emotions, and dread starting Sunday afternoon because oh my God, I have to go back to that workplace on Monday. And yeah, like I said, you're always tired. Like your body is giving you all those signals. And then maybe also the workplace itself is giving you signals and making it harder for you to live there, not to live there, to work there. The benefits are getting worse, or your colleague is getting more hostile, or I don't know, like jobs all around you are starting to fall away and you feel like, is my job at stake here too? So like, there might be the universe usually is sending you signs, increasing the pressure, increasing the heat. And so the universe is just, it keeps escalating a situation until you finally listen, until you finally look at the thing. And sometimes we're not able to look at that thing until it just blows up in our face. And we've all been there. We've all done that. I think I shared that in my last message that I had a few tower moments over the last few months, and like huge ones, huge. And I was not able to see it before it happened, and had to be that way because it was so, so deep inside my subconscious and just rooted in my sense of security. I never, ever, ever would have let go of that on purpose. No way. So it had to escalate to a certain degree. So those things, even though they might be like, they might look like they are happening to us, they're actually happening for us. And so this is bringing me to the other side of this spread here, which is moon possibilities. And why did I say that? It brings me to that other side. Now I'm like, what? I'm confused. So there's something about intuition, and it might be clear one moment, and then suddenly it doesn't make sense anymore. And I'm drawn to the 16 on the timer, which is the tower. So the tower is taking away certain possibilities for us, but at the same time, it's also creating new ones through that. Because we were so focused on something before that we did not see all the other possibilities. And so in order for us to grow, things have to break away. And if we're not willing to let go of them, like I said, the universe keeps escalating until we encounter what we perceive as a tower. We sometimes do have mini towers and we don't really recognize them as such because they're not that bad. They only get like really bad if we let them become that big a thing. If we always acted on our intuition and on those signals that are being sent to us, like with that thing about the workplace I talked about earlier, was like, there are all those signals that are showing you like, this is not the right place for me to be in. If you listen to that immediately at the first little ping, and we don't always have to react to it immediately, but if you just listened to it, observed and looked into it and found out what's the matter, maybe it's not the workplace, maybe it's something else, maybe it's the commute to the workplace, or maybe it's I don't know, that it's not like, maybe it's not your schedule or not your rhythm, your cycle that you are like comfortable with. Like there can be other, it doesn't always have to be the thing that we are afraid of losing. But it's necessary to look into it, to face up to the thing and to ask for truth in order to find out what is going on. And if we did that constantly, always, we actually could avoid a whole lot of tower moments. But like I said, sometimes there are things that are so deeply, deeply, deeply ingrained in our system, it's hard to not encounter certain tower moments. And if we do, it's important to look at them and see them as support. I want to say support. They're happening for us. And yeah, the reason why I said support is because there's the support card in the middle. And now this whole thing is changing on me. And it's like, it's taking like a higher stance, and it's saying, so there is, with the synchronicity card, there is a certain orchestration happening right now. The pressure has to be increased, put upon you, so that you can look at things that otherwise you would not be able to see. Like, there has to be a certain degree of pressure or heat applied so that they come to light, because otherwise they would not show their face. Sometimes this is in, yeah, you know, that thing about in a crisis, people show like their true color. That's the direction this is going in. Maybe this is also about a relationship or about family members or friends or, like I said, a workplace, whatever. Like, so maybe it's about other people. It's that like when there's a certain kind of pressure applied to a relationship or like a whole community, people suddenly show what they're really made of. No, correcting. They're showing where their wounds are. The wounds they were covering up before. And just as our own tower moments show us where our own foundation is not as stable as we thought it is, or where our own wounds are, same is happening with the world around us. And so this is sometimes happening so that we can actually see what we're really dealing with, because people can disguise, not just people, like whole companies, for example, can disguise and make you believe that everything is perfect or fine, like you're we are doing well, we are doing good, and suddenly, like a few days later, a few thousand people are laid off. Those kind of things are happening all the time, but they only come to light when it's already kind of too late, because they were putting up that front so that you could not see beneath it. And so there's this amount of pressure that has to be applied in order for a certain thing, it can be anything, so that you can see that thing for what it actually is, for what it truly is. So this is what, on a global scale, even like on a collective level, is happening, but it's also happening in your own life. So yeah, now they're bringing me to those fires as an example again. So with those fires, they're showing that there are like that there are certain things we're doing to Mother Nature, and a certain way that we are looking and dealing with the climate and the changes that our whole planet is going through, that this has an effect on us in our lives. And this is what people have been ignoring for a very, very long time. And now this is like, they are like the universe is increasing literally the heat, the pressure, showing us, humanity, this cannot go on like that, because you see what the effects of all of that is. Are you willing to change now? So that's the reason maybe why, if you're feeling like the pressure increasing in your life and you are having certain reactions to that, nervous system reactions maybe, or certain parts in your life are crumbling, relationships are facing crisis, this is there for a reason. It is there to show you something. So with the moon possibilities and intuition on the other side, there is this aspect of you're given the opportunity to look deeper, to see it for what it actually is, to see what it's trying to show you, and to create new possibilities from there. It is helping you. It is there to help you. And sometimes help is that we have to walk through the valley, that we have to walk through the discomfort in order to come out the other side in a stronger, as a stronger version of ourselves that is more in tune with who we truly are, with our deepest truth. And yeah, with this support card in the middle, I do get, and that is what I said, like it's happening for you. It's not happening to you. And it might be hard to see it that way or to view it that way. But so this is, yeah, it's saying on the one hand, like this whole blow up or whatever is happening, like this increasing of the heat in your life is happening for you. And at the same time, you don't have to walk this alone. Like you have to deal with it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. There is support there for you. You only have to ask. You only have to ask for it. Okay, so a few tarot cards with that. We have the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Cups. And so, yeah, this is basically confirmation of what I already said. With the Eight of Cups, like really leaving behind what is no longer meant for us, which is not supporting us in who we truly are. And the Queen of Swords is that. She's not afraid to put out and put forward who she truly is. She is the defender of her truest self-expression. And here she's even giving off some Kali vibes with that head in her hand. Focus. And yeah, so this is like the ego she's slaying. And it's this willingness to sacrifice what doesn't serve her deepest truth. And we got out the King of Swords and it came out in reverse. And yeah, so the King of Swords is the one who's actually putting that energy of the truth out there. The interesting thing is, for when it came out in reverse, and he has that, like his mouth is covered. And that's an interesting way of depicting him. And I just said, like, sometimes we have to sacrifice. Usually when we go through those huge transformations, there are things we need to sacrifice. There are things we have to let go of. There are heads that have to roll. And so this is what we leave behind but in order to being able to continue on, to walk on, something has to be sacrificed. And it looks like that with that covering the mouth, you have been sacrificed so far. You have been sacrificing your true self-expression so that you could stay where you were, so that you did not have to go away, so that you did not have to. Okay, so you are asked to sacrifice something so that you can come into your fullest self-expression. The thing is that whatever you're asked to sacrifice was asking that sacrifice of you. It was asking you to sacrifice your truest self, your truest self-expression. So, and it feels like because of all of this moon energy, it feels like, and even on this card, there's the moon showing. It's something that you are emotionally very, very attached to. Getting something about family or like the mother energy, of course. It doesn't have to be the mother. It can be something you nurtured or that nurtured you for a very long time. Could be a friendship as well, partnership. There's some kind of emotional entanglement here. And now this card that I drew at the beginning with the Knave of Cups, like it's lying over there. It's like it kind of got pushed to the side. It's like this, no, I don't want to look at that. That no. So, okay, what's coming through here is you are asked to look at that. And if you do, it's not as bad as you might think. If you don't, the universe will turn up the volume. At some point, you will be forced to look at that. And like with the whole stuff I've been explaining before, you can still okay, so what they're saying is like you cannot, and I don't want to scare anyone here, quite the opposite. You cannot avoid the tower, but you can kind of manage it in a way that it's not as disruptive as it could be. And I just saw 3333 on the timer. So this is some kind of divine initiation. You are asked to step okay, so this is for someone. Wow, okay, now we're getting, I thought this was almost over, but now it's like, it's getting like, ooh, okay. This is for something. You have a very important mission here. Like, you are not here to play around. You're here to play an important part in this general collective ascension process. You're here to assist the collective with those with all that pressure that is being put on humanity. And this is just the beginning. It will get worse. It will get more. I don't want to say worse, but it will get even louder. So there are souls incarnated on this earth in order to assist humanity with that. And I'm not, okay, I want to stress that because I feel like I might lose people here. I'm not talking about, oh, you're a chosen one and all of those things. This is really about, this is not I'm better than others, or I'm special, or like I'm putting myself into this role of, yeah, I'm part of the 144,000 and I'm chosen and all of that. It really is about co-creation. It is about collaboration between those souls, but also with the rest of humanity. This is a co-creative process. So you are asked to step into that role, to be the person that you need to be that version of yourself that you need to be in order to fulfill your purpose. And this is why you will be, if necessary, pushed into that. And it could get quite uncomfortable if it has to. Like so this whole thing that I was talking about, this divine timing stuff, is now speaking, and I just saw 36, 39 on the timer. Again, this 3, 6, and 9 topic. Like there's a bigger plan behind all of this. There's a higher order behind all of this that is kind of orchestrating those external events and how, like, the way those have an effect on us personally. Okay, now I'm getting something about if you felt like you've been suspended for a while, like you've been in a stagnant energy for a while, and whatever you tried, it didn't work. The message coming out here is now that is because the time wasn't right. Like you had to kind of like sitting like in a waiting area because you still had to wait for the external circumstances to be right so that you could actually step into whatever it is you're asked to step into. Yeah, with the Chariot in reverse, this is confirmation about what I just said, with that, like you were in that suspended timeout almost before it was time to move into the next level. You were also given time to work through certain topics in your life so that you could be prepared for what it is that you are asked to step into the best way possible. And now there is this collective push really and we are being asked to step up, to level up so that we can fulfill that role that we are asked to embody here. And again, it's being emphasized, like if necessary, with a little more force than we might be comfortable with. But know that you can, like, it's not like this is not breaking you. Oh, okay. So this is even that is happening on purpose. If it like it's not about avoiding those towers. They are there to show you that you can walk through them, work through them, and walk through them with grace. That you have it in you. That you have it in you. Really, like we can, and I'm speaking from experience here, like we can endure a lot more than we than we think we can, and actually come out on top in a way that actually gives us the feeling of, oh wow, I managed to get through that. And this gives me the confidence to move on, because I know if I manage to get through that, I can do pretty much anything. So the Emperor, I love the depiction of the Emperor here. It's so with this Aquarius full moon that we just had, it's asking you to be your weirdest self. Like, just be your weirdest self. And like, there's so much stuff happening right now. And yeah, with the Chariot on the other side again, the Chariot, I'm reading the Chariot in a different way than most people do, I guess. This is a card of ego transformation. It is bringing us into the next level of ourselves. And I love the way my teacher, Lindsay Mack from Tarot for the Wild Soul, I don't want to take on or like present things that are not mine, but I love her description of it. Like, she's saying, especially if you look at the Rider-Waite classical tarot depiction, there are two sphinxes sitting in front of something that looks more like a cardboard box that doesn't really have wheels. So we are realizing, wait a second, that wagon I've been sitting on, it's not really what is equipped to take me onto that new journey that I have to go on. It doesn't even have wheels, and it has two sphinxes sitting in front of it that don't look like they would be moving anywhere anytime soon. So it's a card of deep transformation, and it's a card of ego death, basically. It is a card of, well, you're leveling out of your old identity, out of your old self, and you're moving on to into the next level. And so this is what we've been talking about here, and this is what the Tarot moments are trying to do for you, to help you get into the version you need to be, so that you can actually fulfill your purpose. And that is to become your weirdest, truest self. And that is also speaking to me about all this thing about the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, with the King of Swords being like, his mouth being covered. Like, he's not allowed to be that. He wants to be that. He wants to be the weirdo in the underwear. But he's not. He's fully cloaked. He's dressed in that. Look at those two. Look at those two. And the Queen of Swords, she is cutting off that head that thinks that you're not allowed to be that weirdest version of yourself, and you are asked to be that. Yeah, so we have at the bottom of the deck, and I was told to put that aside. I forgot about it, and now they are bringing the attention back to it. Beware, not beware. Keep up integrity. So that's the overall theme. It's really stay in contact. Stay in contact with your integrity, with your truest, deepest, weirdest self. This is what is asked of you right now. And that might mean, pretty certainly means, that you have to let go of certain things. And it might feel hard and it might feel like you cannot take it, but believe me, love, you can. You can take it. And the price that you pay is nothing compared to what you gain on the other side. And that is to be your freest, weirdest, most beautiful, shining true self. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Such a potent, such a transformative, empowering time that we are in right now. And I know you could do it. I believe in you. And I know that you can believe in yourself, because that is even more important. And if you walk through that, when you walk through that and come out on the other side, you will realize that you have a sense of confidence that you've, like I said, you would just say, like, bring it on. Bring it on. I can deal with all of it. All right, my loves. I wish you all the best with that. Thanks for contributing your time and energy. If you like the kind of content, if you like what I'm doing, comment, subscribe, like it. I would love to hear from you. It's always giving me insights, and it's helping me pick up on your energy more easily, and helps me do what I do here. All right. I wish you all the best and looking forward to seeing you in the next message. Until then, take care. Bye.